You're listening to the Sandstorm podcast, your regular dose of heaviness right here in Dubai. Hosted by Sandy Syn.
All right, what's up, metalheads? It's your girl Sandy, and welcome to the Sandstorm podcast. Today's guest, we have a beast of a vocalist and also a very dear friend of mine. He is the vocalist of the French brutal death metal band Benighted. Please welcome Julien Truchan. Julien, welcome.
Hello, Sandy. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to share this moment with you.
Thank you for being here. And how have you been so far? How are you?
Well, I feel pretty great. We just released a new song, so I'm very busy about the promotion around it, and didn't have time to catch a break before between the Asian tour we just did and the song.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everything goes all the time very, very fast. So
Yeah, exactly. I saw the post about the new songs, and we're going to get more into it later in
yeah.
this session. But first of all, since you're back home and everything, do you have any nice plans for the winter holidays? Do you get to enjoy with your friends and family?
Oh yeah. Actually, I work until next week. Then I have 4 days to enjoy Christmas with my family, and then back to work because I work, I'm a nurse, so I need to go work to the hospital to be able to have some days off to be able
Oh,
to
yeah.
tour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been quite busy. You guys were just in Dubai like last month,
Yeah.
and you just came back from your Asia tour. So it's just so funny how this all happened with the whole Dubai thing because you guys came here first time, I think it was like 2017, something like that.
17,
Something
exactly. Yeah.
like that, yes. And then after that, I saw you guys again on 70,000 tons of metal. It was like a very nice reunion.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking to each other and we are like, hmm, would you like to come back to Dubai? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, hmm, maybe we can make this happen. And it happened. We were talking about like how, we were planning all this and then it happened. You guys came back here to Dubai for the second time. So I want to talk about, the first time you came to Dubai. What do you remember from the first show you had over here?
Well, I remember I was very surprised about the energy and the metalheads in Dubai because I had no idea what to expect because I was pretty ignorant about the metal scene in Dubai, and it was a great surprise. And when you invited us again to play there, I was very impatient to be back because the last time was very good, and this one was even better. So yeah, it's a pleasure to see in I mean how many metalheads and how many people who are extremely crazy about metal in Dubai, and we had a great time because people are so nice and so easygoing. So we really keep a very good memory of that.
Yeah, it was really cool that we left like Dubai left a really good impression on you guys and you guys came back. And it's normal. A lot of people here, well, around the world, they don't know much about the metal scene here in Dubai. It's very small. Some people don't even know it exists, but this is why we do what we do over here to, spread awareness that there is a metal scene here. And even though it's small, it's very you saw how the people were. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of
All
fans
the
here,
passion, yeah. Mm.
very passionate. So yeah, it was a really good time. We had so much fun at the last show. You guys were mingling with the crowd and people were super super happy. And this time around, you had a local support too. You had our band Gates of Gomorrah, and look, he is wearing our t-shirt. Can you
I'm
guys see that?
representing. Thank you
He
again for that.
he's represent and look at me. I got my benighted shirt, so you see
And
how it's going.
it's connected because we didn't talk about it earlier, so it's really a very funny coincidence.
Yeah, it's such a funny coincidence. We just happened to wear each other's band shirts. And the funny thing was, like when we were organizing it, I was like, okay, cool. They're coming back, and I was already happy that we were bringing you guys back. And then we were looking like, which would be a good opening band? And I was like, thinking, I was like, I could give other bands this chance, but I really want to take this chance to open up for you guys, and I'm so glad we did. This was just such a fun experience for the both of us to share the stage together, and it was really an honor for us. We had so much fun.
But it was a pleasure. I was so happy when you told me that you will be playing with us, because I never saw you on stage, and I was very impatient and looking forward to see your band on stage. And my God, it was a great show, and I really enjoyed it from the beginning until the end. And everything after that, our show, we had a great time, and then the after party was great as well. So yeah, it was just a perfect evening in Dubai.
Yeah, I'm so glad you were able to see us perform, and we were able to, like, just hang out and spend some more time together. And I just wanted to ask you, like, during your Asia tour, okay, we were one of the opening bands, but were there any other opening bands around Asia that that really left you an impression that you also really enjoyed?
Oh yeah, actually, when we toured in China, there was the what was the name of the band again? They were very good. Like it was Paradise in Flames. I think they're from Brazil, and
Mm-hmm.
we shared both of the shows that we were playing with Marduk, and I was very impressed, especially by the singer. She had some kind of lyrical voice, but she could sing very loud, and she was actually she was having a flu, so it was kind of a huge performance to be able to sing that good, and with being sick. So yeah, I really enjoyed their band.
Yeah, that's really hard to do, especially when you're sick. So she was also another female vocalist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Oh,
there was
that
the
is
main
so
vocalist
cool.
also, who was
Yeah.
he was the guitarist also, and she was singing. And she could scream as well, and yeah, I was very impressed at what she could do. It was very good.
That's so awesome. Like you get to meet all these like other bands and stuff, and then you can see how the local scene is like. I also heard China has a very like good metal scene over there, and not a lot of
Yeah,
people know too much about, but they have a lot of bands. There's a lot going on. I heard so much about it.
yeah, exactly. But I think the tour manager told us that there was a lot of Chinese band, but unfortunately, we didn't meet any any
Oh, okay.
Chinese band, because there
Ah,
was no opening band from China. I was disappointed because I wanted really to discover what kind of extreme metal Chinese people could do. So maybe next time I will have a chance to see it, but this time we couldn't. It was only bands coming from abroad.
international bands. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that it was an international band opening in China. And another region in Asia that I wanted to ask you more about was Mongolia.
Oh, it was,
Mongolia. Yeah.
but
I didn't know there was scene.
it was a funny tour because we came from Dubai to China, where the temperature like loses like 20 degrees or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Mongolia, where the temperature was minus 25 degrees. So it was, yeah,
Big difference.
like a chemical shock every time
Yeah.
we went from a country to another. And actually, I didn't know what to expect, because, of course, I never heard about shows in Mongolia, and it was fully packed. And we had something like 5 or 6 bands who opened for us, and they were all extremely young people. I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the female singer again of one of the bands, she was only 16,
Wow.
and she looked like possessed on stage. So it was we watched every band that night before it was our turn to go on stage, and we were amazed by the kindness of the people, and the great energy the crowd had to offer. And yeah, we saw a lot of we saw in one show way more Mongolian bands than in China, where we've seen none actually.
Oh wow. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like, it's like UAE is the same thing. People don't know a lot about the local bands here, the scene here. And in Mongolia, even I had no idea about the scene there. And then you got to see like a lot of other bands. And then you found another female metal vocalist in Mongolia, which is really crazy. And I now I want to know like who the bands are. So afterwards you need to share me who these bands are, because I love to discover
Yeah,
this and dive more into the Mongolian metal scene, because that is something really different. And also
I have a
during, yeah.
poster of the festival, so I will
Oh,
send it.
yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. And also during this tour, you brought your new drummer, Matthias Bechler, and you guys released your latest single. You were talking about it earlier, the Spineless Freak. So tell us, how did you guys discover Matthias, and how was it like working with him for this single?
Well, as you know, we split it up with Kevin last year, and Kevin kept playing for the band until we found a good replacement. And we were still casting some drummers. And I received a message from Eugene from Flesh God Apocalypse, who told me, "Hey, Julien, I don't know if you found a drummer already, but I have this student in Paris, and he's very, very young, but he's also very, very good." He told me that he was impressive in his capacity to learn very fast. And I think he taught him Blast Beast like two or 3 years ago, because Matthias wanted to play extreme metal, and he could learn it only from home with Eugene's lessons. And he told me he learned so fast. Give him a few months, and he will be ready for Benighted. I have no doubt about it. Try to cast him. So I contacted Matthias because Eugene told me he will be too shy to contact you. So I contacted him, and when I wrote him, he was like, "Are you the actual Julien?" I said, "Yeah."
It's a scam.
Because he started when he wanted to play drums, because he's a bassist at first. When he wanted to learn how to play drums, it was because he listened to the Benighted music, and he wanted to learn this extreme way of playing drums. So for him it was like, "Wow, what's happening?" And so we casted him in July, and well, I mean, we were just looking at each other like, "What the fuck is he?" He was only 21 at this time, and we were like, a guy who is 21 can do this. We were like, "Whoa!" So we know that he still has a very huge progression possibility. Again, he can go, I think, even faster. He will only get better and better, because at this age, when you practice, you progress very fast. And his very first concerts in September in France was just amazing, because he played so good. And I can only imagine the stress he must have, because it was his very first gig as a drummer. And being a drummer in Benighted is not the easiest way to start to play drums. But yeah, he did great, and he's such a nice guy. And as you can imagine, with nerves like steel, because I mean, I cannot imagine all the stress he must have gone through to do it. But every time we had a show with him, he was very professional, very serious, and after the show, we have a lot of fun. So now it's a perfect match with Benighted. We are very happy to have him in the band now.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and we're so happy that we were able to see him perform live. And like, he is such, with his background being a bassist, and then with his age, I saw him live, and he was so amazing on drums. Everybody, when they saw him, they're like, "Whoa, this guy is nuts. He's really good." And then when some people got to find out that he was a bassist first, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And all the other bassists were like, "Do I need to change into drums? Is this what I need to do?" Because that's the thing I need to do. And you talked about Eugene. I actually, I saw Flesh God Apocalypse during the summer when I was in Finland, and I got to meet this guy. So that was his teacher. So he had a very good teacher. So I think that's why he's so good. That explains everything.
Yeah, and thanks again to Eugene, because without him we wouldn't have him. So I'm very, very thankful to Eugene for giving me the contact of Matthias, and that it could happen.
Yeah, it's crazy how it all works out. So like about the Spineless Freak, what was the meaning behind the song?
You mean the lyrics, or why we released the single?
A bit both. A bit of both, yeah. Mostly about the lyrics, yeah.
Yeah. About the lyrics, it's about some schizophrenic guy who's delusional about feeling a face behind his skull, and because he always have his hallucinations coming from behind. So at some points, when he have a voice coming from behind, some schizophrenic guy, they don't have the consciousness of having a back and the back of the skull because of the schizophrenia, and it's about a guy being mad about the kind of twin he has in his back that he can't see, and always giving him some orders and asking him to do some stuff, and sometimes being very very mean with him, insulting him, and so he feels persecuted and stuff. And yeah, the spineless freak, it means that he is behind and he has no spine, because the spine is the main character who has a spine, and it's just an entity who exists behind the head, because I can hear him, so he must be there, and that's the meaning of the song.
Oh, those are like very powerful lyrics. And do you do most of the lyric writing? Is it all you?
Yeah, it's all me. Pierre works also in a psychiatric hospital, same way as I do. But I work with adults, and Pierre works with teenagers. And yeah, for the next album we started to work on, I found some very very creepy and disgusting film.
Oh, wow.
About mental illness. We'll see.
So I'm sure like your job field is what inspires you guys mostly for your lyrics, right? It's a good spot for lyric inspiration.
Exactly. That's I have so many crazy and unfortunately sad stories at my job, and that's why also when I write lyrics, I try to respect the reality of the symptoms, and also always underline that people suffering with this kind of disease are very vulnerable and fragile, and they are not the potential serial killers that everybody wants them to be at the end, and that they have to be taken care of, because they are very vulnerable people.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a very interesting inspiration of writing lyrics. So we talked about writing lyrics, but now I want to dive more into you as a vocalist, especially since I also do extreme metal vocals. I always like asking other vocalists about their journey and how they got into their vocals and their technique. So I want to ask you, what was your vocal journey like, and what drew you into doing extreme metal vocals?
Well, it started, I guess, in 1996, when I discovered the album Butchered at Birth from Cannibal Corpse, that I bought by mistake, because I was a huge horror movie fan at this time already, and I found the cover cool, so I bought it. But when I listened to it, I really didn't like it. I was like, what's this noise? I don't understand anything. And I was like, what's the point of doing this kind of vocals? I was young and I had no idea. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Why does he do it? And then listening to it several times, my ear started to get used to it, and I could actually understand what was played, and understand also the purpose of this kind of music. I started to feel it, and with my best friend Olivier, who was the original Benighted guitarist, we started a death metal band in our high school, but as a joke. I mean, I didn't play an instrument, so I was like, okay, I will try to sing like this, and let's see what happens. And then that's how I got into it.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that story, and for you to have this reaction for the Cannibal Corpse, like, what is this? What? You didn't like it at first.
That's why when people tell me, I'm sorry, but Julien, your music, I cannot listen to it, I'm like, I totally get it. I had the same reaction when I listened to it first.
And little did you know that you were going to do something similar, right? You never know how your life is going to be.
Exactly.
Exactly. But your vocals are truly amazing, and I want to know, do you do any vocal warm-ups or anything? Do you have a routine, or do you just go directly into screaming?
No, I don't. I'm a very bad student, I guess, because I never warm up. I just check before going on stage if all the kind of vocals I do work. I mean, I try every one of them, and then I just go. I don't need to warm up, because most of them I do them with fake vocal cords, so it doesn't need to be warmed up like the spoken vocal cords. So no, I don't have any kind of routine. We had this funny thing with the ex-guitarist Fabien. Every time we went on stage, he stopped me and said, "Julien, 1." So I do the 2 and all that stuff, and until 5, and then say, "Okay, we can go now." But that was our little gimmick joke before going on stage.
Yeah. No, that's all you need. It's interesting because when I talk to other vocalists, everyone has a different answer. Some of them,
Yeah.
they warm up for a very long time. Some only do it for a bit. Some are like you, they said, oh, we don't warm up. I even heard someone say like, oh yeah, I smoke a cigarette and I'm good. I said, oh, okay. So there's so many different ways. And I guess, you don't always need to warm up. And it doesn't sound like, you needed to warm up or anything. You sound great and it sounds very strong. So what you're doing is right.
Oh, thank you. But the
Sounds
thing
so
is that
good.
I do that for 27 years now. So I guess
Yeah,
if I would have to develop some troubles with my throat or anything, it would already have happened. So I guess my techniques protect my throat, and I think I can do it maybe for
exactly.
27 more years. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a lot of experience with it. So I guess you're quite used to it and very in tune with your body. And did you have any, vocalists that inspired you or influenced you in any way?
Oh, but it was Chris Barnes because I
Oh,
listened.
yeah.
Well, Cannibal Corpse at first. Chris Barnes was a huge inspiration for me, and then I was totally crazy about John Gallagher's voice from Dying Fetus. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I love his voice, and that was one of my main influences. I would say. Also, Frank Mullen from Suffocation is a vocalist that I admire a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
or Barney from Napalm Death. It's old school death metal.
Yeah, those are some good influences and very powerful vocalists. And of course, I have to ask you because you're known for your breeze, your breeze. What is the key to make the most brutal brie? How do you do it?
My loudest and most powerful voice is the one I do like this,
Hmm. Yeah,
and I just turn it into a and
yeah. You just do it so naturally. Even though I do vocals, sometimes I can do breeze, but it has to be I have to practice it, and it happens sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't happen. It doesn't always work. So it's like it's not automatic for me, and I'm still like trying to learn how to do that.
I'm sure you will do because you know to do so many different vocals already. I'm sure you will. You
Yeah,
will say.
one day I'm working on it. That's why I was like trying to ask you, like, how does he do it? Maybe I can learn something. And
All
speaking
exhale.
of, yeah,
I do all exhale. I cannot do inhale vocals. I don't know how to do that.
yeah, that I don't understand. Some people can do it, and some people say it's dangerous, but some people can just
Maybe I
do
don't
it.
know.
Everybody is different. And
Yeah.
speaking of breeze, I have to show people this. Okay.
Yeah. I see
You
where
know
you
what
go.
you know what I'm gonna show everybody. This, guys, is the best merch I have ever seen in my life, and I am so proud that I have one. It is the Bree Box. Guys, look how cool that is. Like thank you so much for giving me that. I'm going to just do it one more time so everyone can hear. So, whose idea was it? How did you come up with this idea?
I think it was Pierre's idea, maybe the bassist, because we wanted to do that for the Obscene Repressed album in 2020. We were with David from Season of Mist, and we were having a party and talking about what special material we could do with Obscene Repressed, that album, and uh, and we came up with funny stuff from our childhood that we could turn into metal stuff. And
Hmm.
I think it was Pierre probably who came up with the idea. And we said, okay, brilliant, let's do it. But Season of Mist couldn't find any company who was able to make it, to release it. So we said, okay, plan B. That's why on the Obscene Request album, the Digipack, when you open it, you have my big squeal coming to your face, like a birthday card, makes some music. That
Hmm.
was the plan B. And in last June or July, Sabine from Season of Mist wrote me a message. Hey, Julien, I finally found someone, a company who can do the Bree Box. I said,
Wow.
okay, let's go. But it was 5 years. We waited for 5 years to be able to
Oh.
do it. But finally, we did it because it was such a stupid idea. We have to do it. We have to do it. It's so stupid. We have to do it. And Season of Mist, they told us that's the stupidest thing that we did since the Abat ball snowball.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah,
I need to
they
look
made
that up.
some. It's a snowball with a little abat in it. You know, when you turn it
Uh,
upside down, you can see the snow.
I want
And
one.
yeah, and they told me they received a lot of angry messages from
Oh,
black metal fans who said, "Yeah, you're not respecting, you're disrespecting black metal. You should be ashamed of yourself." And at the end of the message, I want four of them.
oh my God. There's some things people say it's stupid, but it works. I mean, this
Exactly.
is like the best thing I've ever seen, and I think it's been a really great success. I've been seeing on your Instagram other people promoting it and showing it, so something worked. I think it's a
Exactly.
great idea. It's a
Yeah, and
great
Season of
idea.
Mist, they are sold out with the Bree Box. Only we still have some, and we sell them at the concert. But Season of Mist, they're already sold out with the Bree
Oh
Box. They
wow.
don't have any. Yeah,
Well, I'm so glad I have one. I feel very special to have this. I just need to be careful not to drop it so it doesn't make any noise. But yeah, I just have one more question regarding vocals. So
sure.
for anybody who wants to also get into extreme metal vocals, do you have any advice that you could give to those people?
Oh yeah, I would tell them to go slow. I mean, it's like training a new muscle. So if you don't want to hurt yourself, you have to at first try to see the kind of direction you want to go with your voice, and then practice it at a very low volume until you can master it. And when it's pretty easy and natural for you, then you work on the volume to get it more powerful. It's really like a new muscle that you train. I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
go too hard on it at first, you will just hurt yourself, and it's not good. Just take your time, do it maybe 1 minute per day at first. Don't need to do it like in 4 hours, in my opinion, of course. And when you feel that it comes very natural for you, like for me, for the growl, I when I had students, I teach them to cough first,
Mm-hmm.
and to do it without the voice, because if I do there is my voice. If I do there is not my voice. So it's just
Yeah.
separate your fake vocal cords from the actual one you speak with. And once you can do that, you just and you practice it until it comes very natural and not painful at all. And then you work on the volume, and then you can play with your tongue to be from the to go and work with your tongue to make it very guttural. And
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's good advice. Are you still doing vocal coaching?
no, I don't have time for that at all. I would
Yeah.
love to, but I'm too busy between my job, Benighted, my family, the sport. I don't have it. I
Yeah,
barely have 1 hour for myself from time to time, so I have no time for.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's important to have time for yourself, but I was wondering about that because I was like, a lot of people can learn from you because you have a very unique like voice and everything. But if you do one day, please let us know because I would be
Sure,
your
with
your
pleasure.
first student.
With pleasure.
Your
But yeah,
first,
it's true that nowadays you have so many YouTube videos who shows you how to do.
yes.
At my time, there was no vocal coach or anything. We just try to catch something and we work on it, and it was not like trying to, yeah, like trying to learn the technique of someone who already does something and get close to his voice. It was more, okay, I have my voice. What can I do with that? And do some experience, some stuff until you find your way. But yeah, we had no vocal coach at this time and no YouTube video because there was no internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because, so yeah,
Yeah.
it was just the energy and what can I do to who's loud and powerful and without hurting myself. So yeah,
Yeah, I remember when I started. Okay, yes, there was internet, but YouTube wasn't a big thing. I remember there was only Zenith screaming. That was the only reference that it could have. But when I first started, I just listened to music and tried to learn by ear. And yes, of course, I hurt myself and made a lot of mistakes. But now, like you said, there's so many resources. You can check YouTube, and you can learn how to, there's so many different coaches and you can learn how to do it safely. So it has
exactly.
improved over time. So
Yeah.
I have another question. It's a bit of a silly question. And I'm
Okay.
sure a lot of people have asked you this question, but I need to know the answer. So on stage you have your signature thing where you do not you don't wear shoes.
Yeah, I know.
Please tell me the reason why, how it happened. or it's just
Uh, I think it was almost from the beginning of Benighted when I started to do that because for example, when I'm at home, I'm always barefoot. I like to feel the ground under my feet,
mm-hmm.
and on stage, it's a great feeling to feel the bass drum
Oh yeah.
on the stage. I really love it, and yeah, exactly the and I for something very I think very tribal, I would say. It's just because I feel more animal being barefoot on stage and walking on stage like an animal, and it helps me become more can I say that, more brutal and more, with more energy on stage. So yeah, I do that for almost since the beginning of Benighted. And of course, I had some accident because of that, but I'm still here, no worries, so it's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you ever step on anything weird or gross, or you hurt yourself on stage?
The worst thing that happened to me is when I got electrocuted in India. And yeah, but it was not that bad. I mean, it was the last song, fortunately, and maybe they thought it was a part of the show. But I got electrocuted from my arm, and it took like half a day for my right arm to be able to work normally again. But it was okay at the end. They wanted to bring me to the hospital, and I said no, I won't go to the hospital in India. No. And then in Canada, I think it was Edmonton, where there was a lot of broken glass on stage that I didn't see. So at the end of the show, I asked the guys, I had my feet up, and I said, "Can you remove all the pieces?" I was bleeding. I put blood everywhere on the stage. It was horrible. And then we had nothing to, in case of infection, you have to disinfect. And we had only whiskey, so they disinfect my feet with whiskey. And and the last thing, I think it was 2 years ago, and I really hated it. I felt like, I think it was, I felt something on my big toe, and when I looked down, there was a guy sucking on my big toe, and it was in the middle of of the show, so my big toe was not clean at all. Really not clean at all. And so I was like, "Whoa!" So I tried to kick him in the face because I felt like, "Whoa!" He was really enjoying it, with the tongue and everything. It was like, "Ah!" So
I
yeah,
can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
yeah, but me too. I couldn't. I was like, it's actually happening. Someone is sucking on my big toe without my permission.
I was not expecting that answer at all.
Yeah, I know.
But you're taking it like a champ. You're like, oh, getting electrocuted, not a big deal. Not going to the hospital. I'm okay. Stepped on glass. Okay, pour whiskey. Guy sucking on my toe. Let's
I
keep
was
going.
mad. I was mad for
As you should
the
be.
toe job. I don't know how you call that.
I love how that's the one that you felt the most like violent.
Yeah, exactly. But
That is
I'm an old rugby player, so everything about pain, blood, and everything. I'm used to that because of my years in playing rugby. So it's okay. But sucking on my big toe, no,
No, you do not do that, guys.
no,
Oh my God. And you still go on stage barefoot. You were not that traumatized, so you
no,
still
no,
keep on
no,
going. No, nothing's going to stop you from not wearing shoes.
nothing.
Those are some great answers. I just can't believe what I just heard. It's going to take me some time to process all
That's it.
this.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no. This is great. That was hilarious. But sadly, I only have one last question to ask you.
Okay.
So, what is next for Benighted? Do you guys have any upcoming shows or any new music on the horizon, especially for 2026? What's your plan?
Next year will be reserved for the writing of a new album. Manu has already started to write some songs. I think he had 5 or 6 songs, and we are working on them actually. And we will probably record in spring or summer for something at the end of next year, or maybe at the beginning of 2027. So probably a new album soon. We still have some shows, of course, because we play. We have 2 months without show, I think now,
Mm-hmm.
and then we start playing again Germany, Netherlands, Sweden, France, of course, and some summer festivals like Obscene Extreme.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Stonehenge in the Netherlands, and Bristol Extreme Fest that we just announced few minutes ago, and I think that's pretty much all. And then some shows a bit everywhere in between, but yeah, we want to focus on writing the new album.
Oh, that's super exciting. I can't wait to hear the new album, and I'm gonna try my very hardest to see you guys this summer. Maybe Obscene Extreme,
I would be
somewhere
great.
this yes. Or we need to bring you guys back here also to the UAE.
With pleasure, anyway.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. Julien, it has been a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for being here. And for those who are listening, make sure you guys, if you haven't already, follow Benighted on all their social media and check out their music, especially their latest song, The Spineless Freak. And thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you, Sandy. It was a pleasure. See you very soon.
Yes, have a happy holiday and take care. See you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, metalheads, don't forget to like and subscribe to Sandstorm Music Company on all social media platforms. Keep supporting your local metal scene, and see you soon in the pit.
We forget